Futurama, created by Matt Groening, made its debut on March 28, 1999, with the episode titled Space Pilot 3000. As a seminal piece in the landscape of animated television, this pilot episode introduced viewers to a futuristic world brimming with satire, wit, and unique characters. This episode delves into Space Pilot 3000, analyzing its thematic elements, narrative structure, character introductions, and cultural impact. By examining these aspects, we gain a deeper understanding of how the episode laid the foundation for Futurama's distinct blend of humor and social commentary. Matt Groening, best known for creating The Simpsons, ventured forth into the realm of science fiction with Futurama. The series marked a departure from the suburban settings of The Simpsons, exploring a dystopian future characterized by advanced technology and social satire. Groening's vision for Futurama was to combine traditional animated comedy with a futuristic setting, offering a fresh perspective on societal issues. This shift was influenced by Groening's interest in science fiction and his desire to explore new comedic territories. In the late 1990s were a transformative period for television. With adult animated shows gaining popularity, Futurama emerged during a time when audiences were increasingly receptive to shows that challenged conventional norms and offered sharp satirical commentary. The influence of science fiction, coupled with the success of animated series like The Simpsons, provided a fertile ground for Futurama to thrive. Okay, so now that you have a basic understanding of the history of the show, we can begin.
Space. It seems to go on and on forever. But then you get to the end and the gorilla starts throwing barrels at you. And that's how you play the game.
You stink, loser.
Hey, Fry, pizza going out. Come on!
Space Pilot 3000 opens with Philip J. Fry, a pizza delivery boy on December 31st, 1999. Fry is sent out on a delivery. When on his way, he runs into his girlfriend with another man. She tells him it's not working out and drives off while saying she put his stuff on the sidewalk. As Fry angrily rides his bike to the delivery, he mumbles to himself, "I hate my life," repeatedly, as the surrounding people on the streets of Old New York joyously ring in the new year. Fry arrives to the delivery location and locks up his bike. By the time he has reached the door of the building, someone has clipped his bike lock and stole his bike, wishing Fry a happy new year as he drives off. As Fry gets to the office for his delivery, it turns out to be a cryogenics lab. He pushes the door open, revealing a room full of cryogenic chambers.
Hello? Pizza delivery for, Icy Wiener? Oh, crud. I always thought by this point in my life I'd be the one making the crank calls.
Disappointed that he wasted his time on a faux delivery, he then proceeds to crack open a beer. While the rest of the world is counting down the new year, Fry is leaning back in a party chair with a party horn, counting down to himself, Right as the countdown ends, he blows the party horn, and as it rolls back, it slaps him in the face, knocking him back. And as the party horn hits the ground, he rolls back into a cryogenic chamber, which then locks him in for 1,000 years. As Fry thaws and then wakes up, still holding his 1,000-year-old beer, he walks past a window, looks outside, and sees it's the future. Realizing he will never see his family, girlfriend, or job again, he begins to clamor with joy. Fry is introduced as a slacker who lacks direction in life. His accidental freezing and subsequent awakening set the stage for his transformation throughout the series. His character embodies themes of self-discovery and adaptation. The episode follows Fry's journey as he grapples with his new reality, ultimately deciding to remain in the future rather than returning to his past life. Through various comedic and dramatic moments, the episode sets up the central premise of the series, Fry's integration into a futuristic society, and the various adventures that are sure to follow. As we return back to Fry looking out the window, two scientists enter the room and welcome Fry to the future, announcing,
"Welcome to the world of tomorrow!" Why do you always have to say it that way? Haven't you ever heard of a little thing called showmanship? Come, your destiny awaits!
The scientists lead Fry to a one-eyed alien named Leela that just wants to decide Fry's fate quickly and get out of there. Fry proceeds to ask Leela about her eye, and then asks if her race has taken over the Earth. She says no and proceeds to do her job. Fry notices a blimp out the window reading Happy New Year 3000.
Wait a minute. Is that blimp accurate?
Yep, it's December 31st, 2999.
My God, 1,000,000 years.
Leela assumes this must be upsetting to Fry, but in fact Fry actually is relieved because he had nothing going for him back in the 20th century, and wasn't going to have anything going for him in the 21st century. Leela tells Fry that at least in the future he will be treated with dignity, and proceeds to tell him to strip down and get on the probulator. The DNA results reveal that Fry has one living relative, his great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great, etc. nephew. It's been 1,000 years. Fry replies, "What's the guy's little name?" Leela replies, "Professor Hubert J. Farnsworth." As Fry and Leela sit at a desk, Fry is thinking about how he could have a better life with a better job. He could do anything he wants. When all of a sudden a buzzer goes off telling Fry what his permanent career is going to be. It's delivery boy. As this was Fry's job in the past, this upsets him, and he begins to beg Leela for a different job. Leela tells him he's been assigned the job he's best at and there's nothing she can do. He asks what if he refuses, and she tells him he will be fired out of a cannon into the sun. She then tells him people don't like their jobs, but they do them anyway, because you gotta do what you gotta do. Leela then tells Fry to hold out his hand and pulls out a piercing gun. She says she's gotta implant his career chip, and it will permanently label him a delivery boy. Fry pulls back in terror and tells Leela to get away from him and begins to run away from Leela out of the lab. Leela chases Fry into a room of cryogenic chambers. She jumps at Fry and Fry dodges. Leela falls into a cryogenic chamber, locking her in for 1,000 years. Fry feels bad and turns her timer down to 5 minutes, walking out of the building to explore the future and find his nephew. We then have a good scene where Fry travels the new New York tube system for the first time, shooting out and smashing his face on a wall. He then begins walking around until he sees a phone booth and decides to call his nephew. While waiting in line, he notices a robot behind him and gets excited as he's never met a robot before. The robot proceeds to tell Fry to bite his shiny metal ass. Fry tells him it doesn't look so shiny, and the robot replies, "Shinier than yours, meatbag." Fry then approaches the booth as he's next in line, revealing that it's not a phone booth but a suicide booth. As Fry is oblivious to this fact, he enters the booth and starts hitting the button. As the robot is in a hurry, he enters the booth and tells Fry, "Let's try for a twofer." The suicide booth starts up and asks if they would like quick and painless or slow and horrible. Fry asks to make a collect call, and the phone booth selects slow and horrible. As the instruments of death retract, Bender gets excited and Fry starts screaming for his life.
Listen, buddy, I'm in a hurry here. Let's try for a twofer.
Please select mode of death, quick and painless, or slow and horrible.
Yeah, I'd like to place a collect call.
You have selected slow and horrible.
Good choice. Bring it on, baby!
As we return to Fry and the robot in the suicide booth as Fry is freaking out, the robot introduces himself as Bender. As Fry dodges the instruments of death, saving his and Bender's life, they exit the booth unscathed. Bender calls the booth a ripoff and then invites Fry to come out and get drunk with him. Meanwhile, back in the cryogenics lab, Leela is free as the 5-minute timer has passed.
2, 3, hey.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow!
Shut up, Terry.
Leela's boss then scolds her for letting Fry get away without his career chip. Leela tries to tell her boss that he's just a nobody, and they should just let him be. Leela's boss doesn't care and demands she goes and hunts Fry down. Returning to Fry and Bender having a beer, Fry asks Bender why a robot would need to drink. Bender replies that he doesn't need to drink, he can quit any time he wants, and proceeds to burp fire. Bender comments on Fry being a delivery boy and says that sounds rough. Fry asks what Bender does, and Bender replies, "I'm a bending unit. I bend girders." He could bend any girder. He was a star. But he couldn't go on living once he found out what the girders were for. Fry asks what, and Bender replies, "Suicide booths." As Bender eats his beer bottle and gets up to go unalive himself, Fry tells him not to, as he is the only friend he has. Bender asks if he'd really want a robot as a friend, and Fry replies, "Ever since I was 6. Bender says okay, but he doesn't want people thinking they're robosexuals. So if anyone asks, Fry's his debugger. Fry notices Leela out the window with a photo of him. A man on the street points inside the bar. Fry and Bender run off, and Bender suggests they hide in a head museum. It's free on Tuesdays. While in the head museum, Leonard Nimoy welcomes him. Leela and some cops bust in looking for Fry. Leela catches up to Fry, and then the police officers catch up to Bender and Fry, brutalizing them. And I mean, they were really brutalizing them. Like, really brutalizing them. Leela disagrees with the excessive force and helps Fry and Bender escape. As Fry and Bender are trapped in a closet barred in, Fry tries to convince Bender to just bend the bars. But Bender is only programmed to bend for constructive purposes. He claims it is impossible, and Leela begins pounding on the door. Fry tries to convince him to go against his programming, and Bender tells him he's full of crap. As Bender turns around, his antenna gets lodged in a light socket, frying his circuits and unlocking his true potential.
Yep.
Open up!
Come on, Bender. It's up to you to make your own decisions in life. That's what separates people and robots from animals and animal robots.
You're full of crap, Fry. You make a persuasive argument, Fry.
Bender Bending Rodriguez, a central character known for his rebellious attitude and morally ambiguous behavior, experiences a critical moment of transformation through an unexpected and electrifying event. Let's examine Bender's electrocution and the subsequent frying of his circuits, exploring how this incident unlocks his true potential and contributes to his character development within the series. His initial portrayal is marked by a combination of comedic irreverence and existential angst. However, an incident involving electrocution and circuit frying serves as a pivotal moment in his character arc, analyzing the significance of this event, exploring how it reveals and amplifies Bender's true potential, both in terms of his abilities and his role within the Futurama universe. The electrical shock he receives causes his circuits to fry. This moment is both literal and metaphorical, representing a significant turning point for Bender's character. The electrocution is not merely a comedic mishap, but a catalyst for a deeper transformation. The immediate effects of the electrocution are both physical and psychological. Bender's malfunctioning circuits cause erratic behavior and a temporary loss of his usual programming. This state of disarray is portrayed with humor, but it also serves to highlight the underlying issue in Bender's character. His malfunctioning state reveals the complexity of his internal struggles and sets the stage for his subsequent development. The electrocution and circuit frying reveal Bender's talent, abilities, and potential. Following the incident, Bender exhibits a newfound capacity for problem solving and adaptability. His malfunctioning circuits, while initially causing confusion, ultimately allow him to approach situations from a different perspective. This shift in his behavior demonstrates that the incident has unlocked hidden capabilities within him. This is probably the most important aspect in Bender's development, as it allows him to have free will and gives him the ability to do whatever he can put his mind to. A topic we will explore in the future Bender-heavy episodes. Now let us continue. As Bender is now convinced, he proceeds to bend them out of the closet. causing Bender's arms to fall off. Leela busts in and exclaims for them to wait as they get away. Escaping into the decaying ruins of old New York, Fry reminisces of the past and the ruins of his old world. As Bender notices Leela off in the distance, she catches up to Fry and Fry tells her to go away. Leela then tries to plead with Fry, telling him she understands what it's like to be alone. Fry is convinced by Leela's sincerity and submits to be tagged as a delivery boy. As Leela is about to pierce Fry's hand, she decides she has a change of heart in the wake of Fry's previous courage to refuse to follow the norm, and proceeds to remove her chip, leaving Fry, Bender, and Leela all job deserters.
I just never realized it until I met you.
What is the matter with you?
I just wanted to be part of the moment.
Hey, he stole my ring!
Sorry. Well, that solves the mystery of the missing ring. This calls for a drink.
Leela emerges as a key character who embodies strength, independence, and a complex inner life. While much of the episode focuses on Fry's journey from 1999 to 2999, Leela's character is pivotal in shaping the show's narrative and thematic direction. Leela, voiced by Katie Segal, is introduced in Space Pilot 3000 as a one-eyed alien working for the cryogenics lab. Her character is a blend of tough exterior and hidden vulnerability, setting the stage for future character development. Before Fry's arrival in the future, Leela is already established as a competent, assertive, and multi-dimensional individual. Understanding her character prior to meeting Fry provides insight into her motivations, relationships, and the thematic underpinnings of the series. Leela's character is marked by a strong sense of independence and self-sufficiency. She is portrayed as a no-nonsense individual who is capable of handling herself in a futuristic world full of challenges. Her physical prowess, combined with her assertive personality, allows her to navigate the complexities of her job and her environment. This independence is a defining characteristic of Leela and plays a significant role in her interactions with other characters. Despite her tough exterior, Leela's emotional vulnerability is an important aspect of her character. Her interactions with her other colleagues and her reflections on her life reveal a deeper sense of loneliness and longing. This vulnerability is a key element in her character development and provides a contrast to her outward strength. It also sets the stage for her future relationships and personal growth. Now back to the show. Leela brings up that they have nowhere to go, and Fry brings up the fact that he has a doddering old relative to mooch off of. They head over to Fry's nephew's, and he declares he has no Uncle Fry, using a DNA testing device to confirm Fry is telling the truth. The professor begins showing off his assorted lengths of wire when Fry is amazed by the intergalactic spaceship chilling in the background, when all of a sudden the police show up looking for the job deserters.
Attention, job deserters! Come out with your hands up! We have you partially surrounded! No!
Get those bums.
Well, we're boned.
Can't we get away in the ship?
I suppose it is technically possible, though I am already in my pajamas.
As Fry tries to pilot the ship, and he has no idea what he's doing, Leela claims she can drive. They count down along with the ringing in of the new year, and narrowly escape the police, escaping through the New Year's fireworks. Now that they have gotten away, Fry says it's too bad they'll be fugitives forever. The professor declares that this is not necessarily the case, as he still has a need for a new spaceship crew. Fry gets excited and accepts the job immediately, while Leela claims they don't have the proper career chips. But as luck would have it, he still has the chips from his last crew. And I just gotta mention, because I noticed this when I was making this video, because I had never noticed it before. Look at what it says on the package. Look again. Oh my god, look at what it says. Moving on. Fry asks if they are going to roam the galaxy fighting monsters and teaching alien women how to love. The professor replies if by that you mean transporting cargo, then yes. Fry replies,
Cool. What's my job gonna be? You'll be responsible for ensuring that the cargo reaches its destination. So I'm gonna be a delivery boy? Exactly. All right! I'm a delivery boy!
this is a good start to an amazing series. Personally, I remember being super excited in 1999 for this series to premiere. Me and my dad made sure we stayed in that night so we wouldn't miss it, as we were huge fans of The Simpsons. But anyway, let us continue. Space Pilot 3000 explores Fry's sense of displacement as he adjusts to a world where everything is unfamiliar. This theme of future shock, the disorientation experienced when faced with rapid technological and societal changes, is central to this episode. Fry's struggle to find his place in this new world reflects broader themes of adaptation and self-discovery. The episode follows Fry's journey as he grapples with his new reality, ultimately deciding to remain in the future rather than returning to his past life. Through various comedic and dramatic moments, the episode sets up the central premise of the series: Fry's integration into a futuristic society and his adventures with the eccentric Planet Express crew. Fry's journey is as much about finding himself as it is about exploring a new world. His transition from disaffected delivery boy to a productive member of the Planet Express crew represents his quest for purpose. Similarly, Leela's search for her origins and identity adds depth to her character, setting up future storylines about her own personal journey. The episode uses satire to critique contemporary issues through the lens of a futuristic society, from the absurdity of bureaucratic red tape to the commercialization of space travel. Futurama employs humor to address and exaggerate real-world concerns. The depiction of future society as a place of both advancement and absurdity serves as a commentary on contemporary societal trends. The narrative of Space Pilot 3000 effectively combines humor with serious themes. The use of comedic elements, such as Benter's antics and Fry's naive reactions, balances the more poignant moments of Fry's disorientation. Flashbacks to Fry's life in 1999 provide context and depth, enriching the audience's understanding of his character. The pilot episode of Futurama received a mixed, but generously positive reception from critics. Some reviewers praised its originality and humor. Others noted that it took time for the show to find its footing. Despite this, the episode established a solid foundation for the series. With many critics acknowledging its potential, Futurama has had a lasting impact on television and popular culture. Its innovative approach to animation and storytelling has influenced subsequent shows and contributed to the broader aspects of adult animated series. The show's exploration of complex themes through humor and science fiction has garnered a dedicated fan base and ongoing relevance. Overall, Space Pilot 3000 establishes Futurama as a series that combines satirical humor with thoughtful commentary on technology, society, and the human condition. This episode's innovative approach to animation and storytelling not only sets the tone for the series, but also reflects its broader cultural impact. By introducing characters with complex motivations and exploring themes of adaptation and identity, the pilot episode ensures that Futurama's narrative will resonate with audiences and invite ongoing reflection throughout its run. The groundwork laid in Space Pilot 3000 highlights the show's potential for both comedic brilliance and profound exploration of futuristic concepts, marking the beginning of a series that continues to captivate and engage viewers with its unique vision. The first episode of Futurama Dive, Space Pilot 3000. Stay tuned for the next episode when the crew goes to the moon and we introduce more key characters, like Amy Wong the intern. Until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe. 30th Century Fox.